Czech German Shepherd and DDR German Shepherd are terms that are heavily used today, often for commercial purposes. With so much information and sometimes misinformation circulating, many people end up buying so-called DDR or Czech dogs that have little to do with the original Eastern bloodlines these labels once referred to. As you know, I'm a sucker for old footage of working German Shepherd dogs, especially the dogs we used to label as East bloodlines, based on how the breed developed through specific historical stages. Of course, I am referring to the period following the split of Germany. While going through some of old Leerberg tapes, I came across this dog, a very nice representative of the Czech lines, and as you watch this fine dog work, I would like to underline the term Czech. Recently, I saw several social media posts advertising puppies from Czech breeding. I decided to comment on one of them and pointed out that what was being advertised as Czech breeding was, in my opinion, not actually Czech breeding in the traditional sense. The breeder responded by posting the pedigree. It took only a few seconds to confirm what I had expected. These were not Czech line dogs, as most people understand the term. Rather, they were West bloodline dogs bred in the Czech Republic or Slovakia by Czech or Slovak breeders. This is where I think a lot of confusion comes from today. The location where a dog is bred and the bloodlines behind that dog are two very different things. Over time, these distinctions have become blurred, and many people new to the breed understandably struggle to tell the difference. The DDR term is often used in much the same way. Sometimes dogs are advertised as DDR despite having little direct connection or none at all to the historical DDR breeding program. I don't necessarily think this is always done with bad intentions. In many cases, it's simply a reflection of how much terminology has changed and how much breed history has faded from common knowledge over the years. On the other hand, the dog you're watching is Dante Trajo. His sire was Cordon Ansat. Those of you who know dogs know that through his father line, Dante was a direct brother to none other than Tom Pochraniční Straže, and that alone speaks volumes. Dante's mother was Onta Pochraniční Straže, who was line bred on the 1971 DDR Ziger Condor from Maderfall. The dog looks really nice. Personally, I don't particularly like the head and muzzle. I prefer the typical DDR block ear type, but that's simply a matter of looks and personal preference. It takes absolutely nothing away from the quality of the dog. To me, Dante shows plenty of drive and represents a very nice balance of looks, size, and temperament. Now, where am I going with all this? For one thing, call me old school crazy, but I love the look, size, and temperament of the German Shepherds of the past. Compared to many of the dogs we see today, often slimmer and carrying very high prey drive, I still find myself drawn to those older types. That said, dogs such as Bernie from Viratal seem to be bringing some of that size and substance back into the picture. But there's another point I'm trying to make. If you are new to dogs, and especially to the German Shepherd world, please understand that the dogs we once labeled as Czech are largely a thing of the past. Modern breeding has mixed bloodlines extensively, and what is advertised today as Czech or Slovakian is more often than not a combination of Czech and West German influences. How much does ancestry still matter nowadays? Probably not as much as it once did. The genetic pool has become so mixed that it is increasingly difficult to predict a specific type with certainty. Breeders can still move in certain directions, but recreating the distinct characteristics of the past is not as straightforward as it once was. If you're interested in prey drive and sport work, there is probably little reason for concern. The sport world has done a good job, so to speak, of preserving and selecting for those traits generation after generation. So remember this, the original Czech dogs, as many of us knew and defined them decades ago, are gone. That doesn't mean today's dogs are worse. It simply means they are different, and understanding that history helps us better understand the breed we have today. And for now, grab a beer, sit back, and let's watch this fine, true Czech dog work.
Stop in front of the jump, there, you should not give a sit command to hold the dog there, okay? And you do that on the in between the hurdle and the wall. The retrieve, going and coming, was correct. The sit in front could be slightly straighter or a little straighter. And then the dog mouths, not mouths, chews. Retrieve over the meter jump. Again, sit in front. There's a sit command given to the dog to stay in the sit position before throwing. Again, heavy mouthing. Overall, good. Retrieve over the incline wall. Going and coming was correct. Again, heavy mouthing. Overall, good. Go ahead and down. Excellent. Long down under distraction. Slight restlessness. High, very good. Overall, here there's a major flaw in the dog's work, and that's heavy chewing on the dumbbell. There was a total of 5 points taken away for all the exercises in the retrieving. Today, the dog receives a score of 93 points SG.
with Dante. Search for the helper. The dog gets extra commands from the handler. It blinds number 3 and number 5. Hold and bark. Very strong, energetic, and continuous barking. Very close holding and attentiveness to the helper, but requires an extra command to return to the handler. In the escape, the dog could be slightly more obedient in the down position prior to the escape, but the grip work is without fault. In defense, the same picture, very energetic, full and firm grips, and very attentive guarding. The back transport is correct. The attack from the back transport, again, this is a very self-confident, full and firm gripping dog, but during the disarming, the dog could be more obedient in a down position. In the long attack, the dog could be slightly more calm and better obedient at sit, but on the attack itself, very convincing work. In defense, the same picture, very strong, confident grip work. However, he could be more obedient in the down position for the disarming. Fighting instincts, courage, and hardness. Today, a very good score was pronounced. Today, a very good score, 95 points.